Patrick, where are we? What's the matter?
Ni wewe barefuaya kafa babaranda we umfokulira kwa bantu kasama yusi bose batinda be abakuru n'abana bose bashitata n'abana bayo banerira we mwamba kasama ile fire iwe wile we boheshi mwamba later experience alakane we bomba mwamba Emmanuel bose bakasama barefuaya mwamba Emmanuel
Welcome to today's the brief. We are discussing the collapse of the health sector. There's been consistent complaint that there are insufficient drugs in hospitals, clinics and healthcare institutions. We've had insufficient, erratic and inconsistent supply. Clearly there have been drug shortages. Despite the repeated assurances from the Minister of Health and from government, the problem has never gone away. Currently, there are complaints. I took time to comb many parts across the country on the issues regarding the shortages of medicine, medical supplies, and laboratory reagents, and the collapse of literally the health sector. Equipment, hospital equipment is another issue we haven't been looking at, where hospital equipment is not working. X-rays, MRIs, CAT scans, sometimes even beds and stretchers are not available. I thought that we could take time to discuss this. But we have breaking news. The police command has issued a message to withdraw officers that are attached from the protective unit that are attached to the former President Edgar Lungu, Zambia's 6th president. You are aware that former presidents enjoy constitutional guarantees from criminal proceedings, criminal prosecution. Their benefits and pensions are also provided under the former President's Benefits Act. They are entitled, among other things, police protection, 24-hour police protection. They are entitled to a salary which is 80% of the president. They are entitled to free medical services, specialized services outside the country. They are entitled to a holiday, once a year as former president. So here we are today. We are breaking news that the police command have issued a message to withdraw the police that are attached to the former president. Have your say. The numbers to call are 0973 04 5292, 0974 808 115. So key issues we are discussing today. The health sector. What is your experience? When did you last go to the hospital or clinic? What is happening? At the end of the program, we are going to provide solutions that we think should be done. The lack of medicine in hospitals has been confirmed not just by newspaper reports, by a parliamentary committee that sat and visited various places. They visited pharmaceutical industries that are manufacturing in Zambia and hospitals, clinics and health centers. They also established that the availability of medicine was very, very poor. Another issue, breaking news, the police command have withdrawn police officers that are attached to the former president, President Edgar Lungu. That is Zambia's 6th president. We'll open the lines as soon as we play these 3 videos on Honorable Sylvia Masebo and a report on the shortages of medicine. We'll open the lines so quickly because these are 2 emergency issues we are dealing with. Let's play the videos.
Licenses. I laugh because I was in the Ministry of Health. I've been in the Ministry of Tourism. Maybe I've got a short memory. I got into trouble because of hunting licenses. And those licenses that were cancelled, they were reinstated after I left. New Dawn, fast forward, the same councils are cancelled. The song has gone every day. Some newspapers have made it their agenda. They even go to chiefs to ask them to speak. They find people to speak, hunting licenses. Surely, if you can't see, may I say, some of you are too blind to see the reality. You are working for people that have wrecked this country. Some people go to fertilizer. This administration has bought the same quantity of fertilizer which PF got last year in 2021. It's the same amount. It has not reduced. It has not increased. Yes, there's been delays. But the truth of the matter, I come from a constituency which is rural, that deals with fertilizers. There's been no difference. This is the same way PF was dealing with the distribution. But we should have done better. And the president has admitted. We are not shy to admit. And we've said, come next year, things will get better. Because we've been trying to ensure that the procedures, the processes, and that Zambia does not lose money. Haven't you heard that we have saved over $150 million just from this last procurement? But having bought the same quantities of fertilizer. But you, every day, fertilize, speaking for suppliers. That is your job most of you are doing. And we know that some of us, we've grown in this game. We know better. We know what is happening. I can just read an article and I just laugh. I said, oh, okay, so this is the intention. So you have a statement a day before the president is issuing a press statement and you are hoping that the president can drop the minister. Do you really think that even if the president dropped me today, tomorrow there will be 70% drugs in the hospitals? They will not be there. When the government decides to reject a report, because we understand as government what is behind the report. We see through. You might not have been to, Mr. Speaker. I have been told that, and I asked the question publicly in front of the cameras, what is your situation? Just like yesterday I asked the director of hospital. I said, please, don't say things to please me. Just tell me factually. I can't visit all the chemists. What is your status? They said, Minister, as we've always been, we are not at 80%, but surely we are moving on. And we are buying our own local drugs from the money that you are sending us, whilst waiting for ZAMSA to come full blast so that we can start boasting that we're at 80%. So that is the situation. Now, there are some clinics or hospitals that may be very bad, and the reason is simple. It's a management issue. Tell me, Minister, sorry, Honorable MP through the Speaker, here's a hospital. Previously, you were getting 50,000 as your grants for using as your pocket money for your hospital. The new government comes, in that same year, in December, gives you that same amount 3 times. In 1 month, December. Remember, we are now in March, December. And in January, they move from 50,000, they are giving you 100,000. And they are giving it to you on time. Sure, what are you doing with the money? December. What are you doing with that money? One would expect that you prioritize what you don't have. Yes, there are some clinics, it might even be difficult because they're very far.
Thank you very much. We are discussing the health crisis in Zambia. There have been insufficient, erratic and inconsistent supply of medicine. There's broken down health equipment. There's just serious drug shortages. And the minister has been blaming health workers and everybody else, the PF, everyone else except herself. There have been 2 permanent secretaries that have been moved from the ministry, and the situation doesn't improve. We're also dealing with an issue, the former president's residence. You are aware that the former president enjoys benefits. First, guarantees in the Constitution, Article 98 is very clear, is exempted from criminal proceedings and criminal prosecution because of the Constitution, unless you go to Parliament and remove his immunity. And then today, we've received report that the police command have withdrawn his protection unit. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Magnesius. I'm calling you from Kapiri.
Magnesius?
Yes, please.
Please make your contribution from Kapiri.
Yeah, my contribution, Honorable Mwamba, is about primarily the withdrawal of security from the former president's residence.
Yeah.
I fully understand I may not be privy to the reason behind whether they are doing reshuffles in light of the shameful act that happened at the president's residence when the police were legally executing their duties but wrongly used their strategy in terms of summoning the First Lady. And as a way of admitting that actually the police could have done better, they have decided to remove the security from there. In all sincerity and honesty, I don't think that is what we expect to happen to the former president. Because as a matter of fact, the people who were wrong are the police, those who went there in a platoon, instead of using a much more professional and respectful manner that the office of the former president deserves. And so, if the intention of removal was because those officers resisted to the unlawful and wrong act that the command was doing, it's something that we do not know. Whether they are just doing reshuffles to ensure that they take in new people, that, in my opinion, would not be in good taste, given the fact that we have all established that the police could have acted in a better and much more professional manner if they still needed to speak to the First Lady. Just like they did the second time when they were laughed at and they summoned her. She went to the police and they did their job. And I think that is the kind of professional manner they should have initially dealt with the former president or the former First Lady. Clearly, if that is the motive, is to just make the normal changes, it makes sense. But if this is all politically oriented, it's unfortunate that President Echech, under his leadership, such kind of things should be happening. He is a president today. It is undoubted fact that 10 years, now we can comfortably say 7 years from now, President Echech will not be the president. And in the manner he's executing his duties, he's not a holy man. He's equally making mistakes. And if whoever will take over from him will just stand up to look for the wrong things that the current president is doing now, certainly those things will be found. In my view, I think the president can serve us better and lead a better president in terms of giving respect to the office of the former president, because he is a former president in making. I submit.
Thank you very much. The former president is constitutional immunity, and there are also benefits attached to his office under the former president's Benefits Act of 1993, where he's entitled to, including police officers, to guard him 24 hours. 7 police officers are attached to his office, led by a senior superintendent, and the officers have been withdrawn. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Kangwenya.
Who?
From Lusaka.
Milimo Kangwenya.
Milimo Kangwenya.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Please make your contributions.
My contribution is on the Minister of Health.
Yes.
Especially on the second clip that you had played, where she was actually defending herself in Parliament on how she has visited some hospitals and clinics, but still there's nothing that is happening. My take is that as a minister, if she really wants people to appreciate her efforts, she must up her game. And the blame game that she is playing, I think it's not doing as good. What she can do is create some provisions that can allow the health system to be able to make reshuffles if at all there is need for that, to make some reshuffles and ensure that the drugs and everything that is supposed to be there in the hospitals are there on time. Now, if we say, if she keeps on saying, I have visited and we have been giving people 3 times, 4 times the money that they have been receiving, then where is the problem? Why don't we have drugs? Why don't we have what we need there? What is her role when she has discovered that there are no drugs? So what? What's the next thing? You understand? So she must be able to give us answers. The reason why we have a minister is to ensure that the public is able to receive good services from the hospital. And if we're able to receive good services from the hospital, we'll be able to appreciate her administration and what she's doing. Then on the second thing, I would also want to comment. I don't know how true that is on the withdrawal of the security from the former head of state. But if that is true, then I don't think that is a good thing, because that he is entitled to that, and the police are supposed to ensure that there is total security every time at the former head of state house. Now, if we have issues where we have the police withdraw, I think that would be going against the constitution, and there are also legal ways that even new people like you can bring, the police into, you can take them to courts or something. But if we are going to sit and just relax and watch things go bad, then I think that wouldn't be a very good thing.
Thank you, Mr. Milimo. I'm grateful. Thank you very much for your contributions.
Sure.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, you are talking to Mr. Kawila. How are you, Ambassador?
I'm very well, Mr. Kawila. Where are you calling us from?
We are calling you from Northwestern Province.
Yes, sir. Please make your contribution on the 2 subjects we are discussing.
So, first of all, I'm going to make a contribution on the withdrawal of security from the former head of state. First of all, it's not a good thing which they have done, but again, for me, I would advise you, the PF officials, don't drag the former president into the politics. This is the tension where it is coming from. Allow the former president to rest. But most of the times, especially you, the ambassador, always you are saying that he's still a past president. So when you put it like that, already you are saying that he's still in active politics, and you know what it states in the Constitution of Zambia. Despite we can maneuver with it, but that's the fact. So let's not drag the former president into politics, active politics. Allow him to rest, allow him to enjoy his benefits.
Thank you, Mr. Kawila. Thank you very much.
And let the government also take back the security to him.
Okay.
He needs it.
Thank you,
and
Mr. Kawila.
Also is our only former president who have remained within the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Brian Mwanza from within Eastern Province.
Brian?
Mwanza.
Yes, Mr. Mwanza, please make your contributions.
Yeah, I'm just concerned with this developing story, and a piece that we are having currently, it is depending on how the opposition can tighten up everything that is supposed to be done so that we can put everything in place. Otherwise, we are not safe, and I should confirm to you that we are not enjoying at all.
Thank you. Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Mwanza?
Not now.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
On the medicine, I've got another a video that I have to play from the community that have been affected by drug shortages. You can call us on 0973 045292 or 974 808 115. We are discussing two key issues. Let me take this call before we go to the video. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Alex from Lusaka. Yes, please. Make your contribution.
Yama ifwe twalimitemwa etuli bakipanikiza
Namwachimia kwa phone yama.
Okay.
Dike mute phone.
Hello.
Mkwai.
Ndera ndati ala ife mwenda tile tukula ale twakwa. Then abantu bali anda pimukira ndera ndemira bakonkeshe fintunga na pishipa nkina fipa. This is a West government na ifwe twawama kwe bali kwakale bali tushupa abantu bintu ngatu bantu kwetu alanda apali kwa chingi de turande fingi tata mgombe we.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So there was a parliamentary report. Let me just play that video quickly, then we get to the cause. The cause are many, but let's also exhaust two thoughts. Is the video ready?
Despite assurances from government on normalizing the erratic supply of medicines in clinics and hospitals in the country, the situation has not changed. Recently, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo disclosed that 90% of the allocated 3.4 billion kwacha for drugs has been released to the Zambia Medicines and Supplies Agency, ZAMSA. Ms. Masebo once more assured the public that the situation will normalize. However, the continued lack of medicines in hospitals has angered some concerned residents of Lusaka who have called on the minister to deliver.
Minister of Health ashita chani tifuna Minister of Health azisevenza kuma clinic tikaenda ngatwadwala hapa nikulembere wa Mungwala bakulembera Mungwala ndi kuti government ishita chani government isenza chani tinaifaka hapo government kuti ikazisevenza isenzele bantu ovutika.
William Kamanga claims Ms. Masebo is playing politics as opposed to addressing the real issues.
Ma doctors wao ni corruption eka ngatile ni bendrama kulibe swanga nionepo yani bamaseo basachenjelese kukamba maningi banali mu MMD babwera mu PF bachoka mu PF babwera mu UPND basachenjelese ngani ama politics setalema nayo ya bamaseo bazitandiza abantu ku Ministry of Health. Mankwala bagule ba government ma hospitals mulibe mankwala talema nazo zongoti iya mankwala kaguleni talema nazo na corruption amne bali nayo.
Another resident, Jeff Kamanga, has echoed the sentiments.
Boma, timvera no new dawn government. Vonse vichebu no but vintu sivili bwino mndara vaiba. Vaipa vintu. So what we want this to Maseo. Afake mankwala ma hospitals. Not akaza kapani mankwala anabura mankwala kulibe.
For Movie TV News,
thank you very much. We are discussing two key issues. One of them is insufficient, erratic and inconsistent supply of medicines, medical supplies, laboratory reagents across the country, where literally the health sector has collapsed despite the repeated assurances from the Minister of Health. We are also discussing a developing matter. There is communication we've come across from the police command that have stated that the 7 police officers that are attached to the former president have been withdrawn. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Patrick, calling in from within Lusaka.
Yes, Patrick.
Yes. I just want to comment on the shortage of drugs and the other things in the hospital that are essential for treatment.
Yes.
I personally, the day before yesterday, a village of mine was suspecting they had some symptoms of malaria. So I advised them to go to a hospital. Then when they went to the hospital, they were told that what do you call them, the resurgence?
Reagents, laboratory reagents.
Yes, they've run out in the hospital. So I asked them, is it possible is there a drugstore nearby where we can buy that? We go with it to the hospital. And they said there's nothing. They did RDT, and you know those small testers for malaria, mostly they don't detect the true reflection of whether someone has got malaria or not.
Yeah.
The clear one is where you go to the laboratory.
Yeah.
So now, my question mostly is, and then this also goes to you as the opposition. I check it, you've got people in the district, on the ward level. There is usually a record. How many patients have been attended to in a week? How many patients have been attended to in a month? So if we can have a system where the proper checks and balances can be done, if they say, like the minister was giving an excuse, health personnel are stealing medicine, there should be a record, there should be inventory. How many patients were treated? For what disease were they treated? For what medication was issued out?
Yeah.
Then who was on the shift from this time to that time? Because we've had those complaints from way back where people have been saying, no, the health personnel are the one who are taking medicine. I remember 2-3 years ago, there was even some instructions which were issued by the PS then, who was saying we'll start checking in their homes, we'll start doing a prompt visit, we check if we find medicines, then we'll know that you're the one who's stealing. Come on. We need to move a step ahead.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. The former president has protection from the law under Article 98. He can be subjected to criminal proceedings or criminal prosecution, and he enjoys pensions and benefits under the former President's Benefits Act of 1993. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Speaking to Joseph, calling from Chambishi.
Joseph from Chambishi. Which topic would you like to contribute to?
I think on the withdrawal of police officers at the residence of the former president.
Yeah, please proceed.
Yes.
Oh, we lost Joseph. Yeah, you can call us again on 0973-045292 or 974-808-115. Good evening, and tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening.
My name is Seth, calling from within Lusaka.
Seth, make your contributions.
Okay, so I quickly want to first touch on the health sector.
Okay.
So you see, what this government needs to understand, Ambassador, is that not everyone who's complaining or giving them suggestions or views belong to the Patriotic Front.
Yeah.
You see, people are listening and people are being affected by what's happening. So they elected this government so that it can continue to govern and even govern better. The problem we have now is that we've gone backwards, you see. So the Patriotic Front, when they left, there were medicines in the hospitals and so on. Now there are no medicines in these hospitals. This government has to be doing better. And when people complain and call and advise the Minister of Health and the government itself to say, look, our people here are dying. Ambassador, people are dying because there are no medicines in these hospitals. And you see, our people in these compounds, in these, communities, don't have money. You see, the country, the economy is very bad. You see, that people are complaining. If people are complaining that there's no money, and you go to hospitals and you find there's no medicines and there's no supplies, it's a sad situation, The government quickly needs to, the president himself, we are calling on the president as a citizenry to quickly attend to this. put the Minister of Health to task. If need be, reshuffle her, change her, bring someone who's going to be aggressive there, who's going to deliver. That's what we're asking for.
Thank you, Seth. Thank you very much.
Quickly, just quickly on the former president, I just want to say,
yeah,
you see, the president, and this one goes directly to the president, is setting a very bad precedence. Yeah. I'll tell you, if there's a president for me who has shown maturity in how to treat former presidents, it's President Edgar Lungu, former President Edgar Lungu. You see, RP, you remember when Basata came into power, there was those wrangles, RP, and until ECO came, he put an end to that. Because these are our parents, these are our statesmen. When President Hakainde leaves office, he wants to be accorded the same respect. So he should be very careful with the stick that he's using or allowing to be applied on his predecessor.
Yeah.
It's very important that he sits down and reflects on these things. Let him stop that. It is very important. They are brothers. President Lungu is a statesman. He's going to leave office also. He wants to be. Let him continue the good the good path that his brother started when RB was there. Look at how the transition of power was very smooth. Yeah, amidst tension, there was somebody to mediate and talk to both of them. That's what we want. Let him continue with that good, will and practice from his predecessor, President Edgar Lungu. And this country will be a beacon in Africa. People will look at us and they will emulate us. That's what we want.
Thank you, Seth. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening. My name is Eugene.
Yes, Eugene. Where are you calling from?
Yes. Within that.
Okay, thank you. Eugene, proceed to make your contributions.
Okay, I wanted to find out. You are saying there is no medicine. There is no medicine in Zambia, or there is no medicine in Lusaka. Which hospital are you where there is no medicine?
Oh, so we have a crisis of medicine, medical supplies, laboratory reagents, and most of the equipment is broken down across the country. There have been various reports. I just cited the parliamentary report that was tabled to Parliament that was done in 2022, also established this critical shortage.
Yes, I heard that.
I heard that, yes. So and then there's been
in the like where you are in Lusaka, which hospitals where there are no medicines?
I think Eugene, that kind of line of discussion will not help us. There's a general shortage.
Okay, we need to deal with facts, but the other one that I would want to make a contribution over is this trend that we've seen with our governments, whereby these big people, like I remember the case of Rupia Banda, he had cancer. He used to be taken to Middle East for treatment. But see, what we tend to forget is that government is paying that person to go out there. But how about the people down there? So I think this idea of sending these big people outside the country is also, it's not a good thing. Why can't we?
Oh, Eugene, thank you very much for that contribution. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Gift calling you from Chipata.
Mr. Gift from Chipata, please make your contributions.
Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba, what I want to tell you, my brother, is that you've been a public servant for a very long time. But to be honest, from the time you opted to go the political way, you've been a disappointment, Mr. Mwamba. You are forgetting that you, the Patriotic Front, you belong from the PF. They are the people who destroyed this country. You left the economy as negative, and the UPND government has done its level best to ensure that we are where we are today. And to be honest, we are better than where we were yesterday. So even as you criticize the new Dawn government, let's try by all means to appreciate and give credit where it is due. President Chilema has done his level best to ensure that at least we live in a decent society.
Gift. There are two topics under discussion. Can you make contributions to the two topics? The state of medicine and medical supplies in hospitals, or the issue of the former president. Please make your contributions.
Okay, so I wouldn't want to comment on the issue of the withdrawal of security from the former president, but the other issue I'm talking about, the issue of medicine.
Yes.
We realize that even under PF, we had this problem of lack of medicines in hospitals. But I can tell you, the problem with you people from the PF is that now you are using propaganda to make this government look like it's not working. You are exaggerating things. Even when you go in these hospitals today.
Eugene, Gift. I expect you maybe to give us a scenario from Chipata. You are in Chipata. Have you visited any hospital?
Yes, I've visited.
Please tell us your scenario findings.
People are not complaining here in terms of medicine, Mr. Wamba.
Okay, thank you very much, Gift. So we hear maybe from other people that are in Chipata to give us similar scenario. Thank you, Gift. So we are discussing two items today. The withdrawal of police officers by the police command from the former president's residence. Reasons are not known. All we have seen is a directive from the police, and the critical shortage of medicine, medical supplies, and laboratory reagents in hospitals, clinics, and health centers. Good evening. Please make your contributions. Oh, sorry, just a minute. I put you on speaker. I don't know how just a minute, my brother. Hello. Oh yeah, I found you. Yes, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello?
Yes, please. Now we can hear you.
Good evening, Mamamba.
Good evening.
Okay, mine is just from the medicine, but my name is Collins. I'm calling you from Lusaka.
Collins?
Yes, from Lusaka.
Okay, thank you.
You've just been asked a simple question that where is the shortage across the same in Lusaka? You are saying to us, but where are you getting
disease hospital? Let me give you a scenario.
Where are you getting your facts?
My brother, just listen. You are not here to discuss. Just listen. Let me guide.
You people are listening.
Collins, let me guide. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, Collins. Collins. Yeah, Collins, can I guide?
Just this morning I was at Levy Monao. What are you talking of?
Oh, he doesn't want to reason with us. We want to have a decent debate. If you have an experience, tell us. If you had a good experience, tell us. Our purpose is to have a decent conversation every time. We will play that video once again, the video of people that didn't have medicine and they were complaining in a medical report, in a media report. Let's play that video once again.
Lusaka. Despite assurances from government on normalizing the erratic supply of medicines in clinics and hospitals in the country, the situation has not changed. Recently, Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo disclosed that 90% of the allocated 3.4 billion kwacha for drugs has been released to the Zambia Medicines and Supplies Agency, ZAMSA. Ms. Masebo once more assured the public that the situation will normalize. However, the continued lack of medicines in hospitals has angered some concerned residents of Lusaka who have called on the minister to deliver.
Minister of Health achita chani tifuna Minister of Health azisebenza kuma clinic tikaenda ngatuwadwala hapa nikulembere wa Munkwala bakulembera Munkwala ndiyo kuti government ichita chani, government isenza chani, tinaifaka ku government kuti ikazisebenza isenzele bantu ovutika.
William Kamanga claims Ms. Masebo is playing politics as opposed to addressing the real issues.
Ma doctors wao ni corruption eka ngatile ni bendrama kulibe swanga nionepo yayi bamaseo basachenjelese kukamba maningi banalimu MMD babwera mu PF bachoka mu PF babwera mu UPND basachenjelese ngani ama politics setalema nayo ya bamaseo bazitandiza abantu ku Ministry of Health mankwala baguli ba government ma hospitals mulibe mankwala talema nazo zongoti iya mankwala kaguleni talema nazo na corruption amne bali nayo ma hospitals yao.
Another resident, Jeff Kamanga, has echoed the sentiments.
Boma timve uta no new dawn government vonse biche bwino but vintu sivili bwino mndala vaipa vintu. So what we want this to maseo afake mankwala ma hospitals not kazi kama ni mankwala yanabura mankwala kulibe.
For Movie TV News, I'm Afias Kaptula in Lusaka.
Thank you very much. We have those two topics. Again, I'd like to guide our listeners and viewers. Please stick to the two topics. It's not about me. Do not attack me. I don't want to attack persons. The purpose of the brief is to have decent conversation over national issues. So call us on the given numbers and let's have the conversation. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. And where you calling us from?
Joseph
Yes, but Joseph from Chambeshi.
Callers should program something. I even participated on the same program. 100% onse abantu abachituma pa program onse bashanda tamuri medicine amamenani kanemiti mu hospital batireta barari muitwa ebachwa pa program bonse abantu bachiranda ati tamuri imiti so njishi byabo bana nikane ba calling zicharo echo bekara koko baire basangura umuti government clinic yine ya bapata kuchambishi yine ndero ndo kuchambishi takuri umuti ine nari twala omwipo wandi omwipo wandi aisha kwata ari kwete twareta bafana naikara kansha bari mwambukisha baiche banankoko bare bari mwambukisha ama STIs so nari mpimene namutwala so after bampima bampera umuti baishire tuba bamulasa bampere prescription at kashiteni umuti bakwisa mutungira kona ndamwari umuti wabati baposhe ama STD and then kwari bampime twa HIV AIDS because I insisted to say bampime na HIV AIDS ukura akanyere na tulatino twa kutonkwera po nyere nani kane mu pamuno tamuri so bamwebere okubwerera po mairo so ba calling zinga baba muno muzambia bakese pachambishi government clinic ponka ba mairo katwaro mwipo wani.
Thank
so
you.
barera ndefshinke Filipo not to create
Joseph
support
from Chambishi. We are grateful. Please call us on the two subjects we are discussing. And would like to get your view on these two issues. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
James Wadia calling from Unsama.
James Wadia from Unsama. Yes, my brother.
Yes, Mr. Mwamba. Thank you so much for the program. I just want to contribute on the withdrawal of security from the president's residence.
Yes.
Former president, yes. It's not a good idea. But what my thought about it is that please let's not involve the former president into political, arena. Let's make sure that we give him advice so that he doesn't open his mouth anyhow the way he used to speak when he was a president, so that he can be respected as a father of the nation. Please, everyone surrounding the president should advise him to cool down, to calm down. Things will just stabilize. Just like we have learned about entropy. It will come to normal at some point. But if you involve him into politics, then you are destroying him. Please, we love him and we would want him to continue being our father of the nation.
Thank you very much. There's a caller from, I think, Kawila from Northwestern Province who said the PF are causing these problems for him, and I'd like to emphasize that our reference to the former president is exactly as we stated. The former president has stepped aside. He devolved his powers to the acting president, Honorable Given Lubinda, and Honorable Nixon Chilangwa. Yes, he's appearing as president, but you haven't seen him participate in active politics. He has never been to any by-election. He has never chaired the Central Committee meeting. He has never held or addressed a public rally. So he not participated in active politics, as the allegation is. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Akim from Lusaka.
Mr. Akim from Lusaka, please make your contributions.
My quick contribution is the problem. How to contribute on the medicine clinic.
Yes, yes.
Yes, the problem there is the minister is so intimidating. People cannot say that you are intimidating them. How do you buy it and say we give you money? No, you will come to the hospital, people are scared of you. So like that, it's very difficult for people to say the truth. The truth of the matter is, if you go to Mateo today, there are a few things that are there. Patients are suffering. People are dying. People should not die. People are dying. We wait there. So much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I am Yoram Tembo, calling you from Katete, Eastern Province.
Mr. Yoram from Katete, please make your contributions.
Mr. Mwamba, nizaga mbako pangani ya mangwara ma hospitals.
Kuri bwanji Katete.
Kukatete post libu inoka ya uku.
Zikomo. Mankwala mlinayo.
Awe bwana, so hapa nija wawena ngo wafunsa na kuti Mr. Mwamba tuze ni chipata chapo njemechibe mangwara kulibe Mr. Mwamba nambu. Kulibe mangwara vipatala.
Munaenda kolit kuchipatala. Munaenda kolit kuchipatala.
Choka last year nasi anoenda kwa manje katwara cha bila direct kainga tu aenda kuchipatala kuja kupata bega pepa bila kusha direct wendo kula mangwala basi. So manje tena ngo tinasi anoenda kwa ngatmwana tu atenda be direct chato wenguja basi akalipira ndalama tagula mangwala takwira.
Simnalembese kunima.
We boss, sinalembese kwa kitinde saulesi kwa manje.
Zikomo. Thank you very much from Petauke.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are discussing the crisis in the health sector. We want to understand your experience. We'll be making some proposed changes. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Emmanuel calling from within Lusaka.
Yes, Emmanuel from Lusaka.
Yeah, I just want to make a contribution on the withdrawal of the police on the former president.
Yes.
It's very sad to hear that. Then I don't know at which point should the state this to that extent of a withdrawal of the police guard to the former head of state, who is Mr. Edgar Lungu. So it could have been better if they issued the reasons why they did that. And at some point, somehow, I suspect that it may be because of you, the Patriotic Front members. You've taken time instead of going to the convention and elect the party president, so that it's not feeling that the former president is involved into politics. Because I'm seeing it like somehow it's the fear from the UPND they're having, sensing that maybe it may become in 2026. But deep down, you know that you are going to reconvene. So I was just making a suggestion to say, please, can you just quickly come up with a date, set a time to say, okay, let's go for a convention and elect the party president, so that Mr. Edgar Lungu is totally sidelined from the party.
Okay, my brother.
Yeah, so
thank you very much. Good evening, my brother. I can see you've been calling, and tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Paul from New York City, Ambassador Mwamba.
Paul from New York, mulishani uko kufialwe fiatalala.
Awe kiliche munche, but problem chamini timvira chepali wakateka wa former president wa Edgar Lungu.
Kambanko ni Paul.
I'm very much disappointed. Anyway, china wame loko pangono. China wame kisina kondona vile na Ambassador Mwamba. Nilipeva mbilivoka amba, but chama inatumila maningi phone call. Nipali radio program yanu ya meitenzeli kutamba kudaba chatu wataboka wana bashta storming manje babaleka bwanjine question yameni nawo ikuru first without imokushita inform ati wataboka wana babwera mu studio na kubaleka bangera mu kwamba okuchallenge. The good part is that you have studio ground, you have managed kubashita neutralize, but wakuma studio manje bafunika wankale serious na bamene wachita wa Mwamba cause kuna wanzanga nezo tamba nao wazungu baseka maninga. This is drama what is happening in Africa. Africa will never develop naive ma issues waso bamene vishitika kuna waniseka wa Mwamba na stara kumbera kuipa ine mtima na tunashira tani invite to a program hii
no
imbalance.
Yeah. Thank you Paul. Thank you Paul from New York. Ziko mopo ukabole na kasote kanga.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wamambanzashita Socha.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Mr. Mwamba. I'm calling you from Chongwe.
Your name, sir?
This is Mr. Brighton.
Mr. Brighton, please make your contribution from Chongwe.
Yes, sir. I would like to comment on both topics, on the withdrawal of security as well as which is this one?
Medicine and medicine shortage.
As well as medicine. Let me start from medicine.
Yes.
Yes, I would like to agree with you that medicine a few months ago, let me say from inception of UPND, medicine has been a problem here in Chongwe. But at the moment, like today, I was there. Yesterday I was there. I think there is a great improvement on the supply of drugs.
Okay.
Yes, I think it actually coincides with what the Honorable Minister Sylvia Masse was saying, that they are currently at 70 or 80% in terms of drug supply across the country.
70 to 80%.
According to what I heard one day on television from Sylvia Masevo, she was saying the supply of drugs in hospitals and clinics is at about 70 to 80%.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what I picked.
Yeah. What's your contribution on the other subject, quickly?
On the other subject, I would like to say that on the withdrawal of security, my understanding is that if a former president is in politics, it means that he does not deserve to be given the state security because he's still a politician. And what we may expect to happen thereafter is that we may see the state again telling President Lungu to give back his benefits because he is still active. I'm saying so because I've heard one of your cohorts in the name of Bowman Lusambo one day saying, if today elections were to be held, we would put Edgar Lungu as our candidate and HH can you lose? And he was actually urging HH to say, can you call for an early election because we already have a candidate. Now from such kinds of talking, it becomes clear to the public that ECL is ready for a comeback. And other than that, whenever ECL appears, be it in church or simply in public, I think his utterances sometimes are provocative. He wants to provoke maybe the ruling party by saying he does not want us to move, he does not want us to worship. I think that is not good from from a former president. When he appears, he has to be sober, he has to be to be talking unifying things and like being political. I think it is from those circles where the ruling party is becoming agitated.
Okay.
I would suggest
Thank you, Brighton. Thank you. Let's allow other callers, Brighton. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello. Good evening, Ambassador.
Good evening. Please make your contributions. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling you from Wales.
Yes, Mr. Mwila from Wales. Yes. Tamukumenyeko wakateka. Na tumfawale pitana bali kuma skola. Tamukumenyepo na bomo bampingana pona bo.
Alatina temwanga nshinga na ngamba kumanya.
Endita.
Tina na randa mechiwe machaba Lungu atina temwanga kolwe.
Emka, you contribute, my brother Mwila from Wales.
Okay, kanabe sa tuatotela sana pali program muletele. I've got two issues. Like the withdrawal of security, I haven't heard or read the statement. I don't because zero na chikomboka hapa. So na chisa pende vutukana tinge finomba na fifi atupone na nifinshi futi mwe wantu wakwalesa. Awe kanabesa mumone from the little that I watched your program lelo. Elo mwachiva ku station nishikule ku musicals. Yes, when Bataboka wana stormed in. Kanabesa efo ningalanda fe ebo pali ya program ya chitika kulia. That is not acceptable banenangu. Feni mwe bubene mwali kwa to mutima ba mwamba kanabesa mwila suminisha filia. Mwali tupela ama ways to reach out to any program. Either you call, you text, or you comment if it's live. If you are against or you want to make a contribution. Chako bati muntu esengire fe mu station ayikara na muchipuna fola na headphone nomba tio ningi sata mwakula bepa bupinomba awe bane
emkwai
ngai mwebo na imwenga mambo kuimo kuli batabo nabonga balena momwai mangwa yabengirira to alafika kwi
endita
awe bamu ngapira finda ngamulamu ine mwachibebela kana besa ngamalefo kumijoin na chama balanda tonde samwa bachita invite which you've done before. You've demonstrated that before. That was very uncalled for, Kanabesa. I know you are a good man, you allow that, but Kanabesa, next time never allow. This is my show. When you want our show together, let's organize.
Yes. No, thank you very much.
It was very embarrassing, to be honest. Pamiti.
Yes.
No, I cannot say much because I'm not on the ground, so I'll just be speculating or from here say unless I'm on the ground. Ngefine nalanda pali chinalanda because na chiumfuira nemwini nama tuyanti namona namenso yanti.
Yes.
Echo na ikatira kuliri ashi. The other thing I'm trying to talk about is imwalanda pali bakateko kwati our former president baba funyako security kunganda. Aho banechi na chota chiwene. Vakateka, I've never heard him at any fora say or declare that or is still active in politics. He's never done that. So why should they do that based on ngamachuva na tabona wachilanda pokula kuina achisa kulia. Hey, in fact na ina mwachimoeva na tena tafu ilokula mwitati mwamba. And in fact, you held a higher position than the one he's holding right now. Title, not at Mwamba Emmanuel, not Mwamba Emmanuel. Yeah, so Navena Fidabatidenga, Kobatina Fitike, Fatinava Poka security bane. Nishi Chene Chotwala Twala Kububi, no, Bachala Twala Kububi.
Bamuila Natasha sana. Yo, tufoile niko wakateka. Bale pita noko ku UK. Bale pita lelo wachila lulumba wachi wak France. Mfoile niko. Mko pwena mo picture.
Au na alaba sapikaka na weza na tote.
Wasapikeni. Yeah. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, this is Bright calling from Kitwe.
Yes, my Bright.
Yes, Mamamba. Abantu n'abamitemo nomba kaini bya barandati. Musukubi utuvye banga. So je chibe mbatire miwa chako kwe wati. Wala abantu mufu mule support la mutafire panga tensi. Check and balance but to asumisha nomba. Bama want kula yo ale kanzo asumisha vina mfya Mungu vina Mungu abako yo mwabako.
Bamela Bright, not kwa tama topics ya bibi. Tulela na pamuti. Elo tulela na pafia wakateka wa former president. Mko wa wafumia kwa police. London po parifyo fibidi.
Chakyo njala polisi ya kwa wati. Fifia mchofu mwela ndapofia fishing ka which na evidence not kwata. Like kuno kita tuwasa abo pande ki clinic hapa. Muna njo njikana nangwa isa arwala ndeni tuwasa abo para gari kuma 20 hours. Ndeni wata trembera jo ekashiteni umuti. Ngamashito umuti pano tuwasa mlange fya kuno umuti of which is not agree fishing. Kino mtu keko toko lesangwa ngefu wa mbore ndao ulesangwa pakliniki hapa twaisa hapo ifwe iyo ya 20 hours kashiteni umuti so mutakwete ndalama sivyo wanasema ndio sasa ndio yeye ndio mtu muhimu kliniki watu badi advise achikote yako acha na tumite mobati ndio baba utakilipanga sasa.
Okay. Hiyo tuwaumfa ya Natasha sana. Thank you wa Bright Natasha sana lekeni tuwafike kwa bambi.
Wataruka kwa bambi.
Kwa hiyo Natasha.
Chikuru fanyima opposition ya chawe chikuru kuba support yawe.
Kwa hiyo.
Kwa hiyo
Thank you. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yes.
Yes, you are talking to Mr. Louis from Winilunga.
Louis from Winilunga. Yes, my brother. Please make your contributions.
Thank you. First of all, I may agree with you that at some point medicine in the hospital, we are not there.
Yes.
Yeah, from 20, let me say you get back from 2017 up to 2021 somewhere there. But from 2022 coming up, the medicine, there is an improvement which has been seen already, especially here in Mulunga.
Okay.
Then coming to the other issue, which is the withdrawal of the security from the head of state, the former head of state. Yes. He's supposed to enjoy his benefits, but the problem which we have seen is like he's still in the active politics. Why? Because yourself, I watched the program which Tavoka and also stormed, which is not right. You made it clear yourself to say, as a party, PF party, you still regard him as the party president for PF. That entails that he is still in active politics because he's heading the political party, which is active. And all decisions which are made in that political party is there on top of it. So that entails that he's not retired from the party point of view. So, as the constitution, you know how someone can benefit his retirement package as a former head of state. Unless you retire from the active politics. But if you are still in active politics, then all those privileges and the benefits, they will be terminated from him. So
no, that may not be true. I'll answer you on that.
Yes, let me finish. Then you
quickly finish. There are so many calls waiting. Even where you are, there is a queue. So kindly just be brief.
Now, my advice, a short advice to you.
Yes, sir.
As you, PF officials, don't drag the former head of state into the active politics. If you know it by yourself, leave it by yourself.
Thank you very much, Louis from Munilunga. Thank you very much.
Yes, you can answer me now.
Good evening, please. Welcome to the program. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Mamba.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Ngosa, within Lusaka.
Yes, Mr. Ngosa, please be brief.
Okay, yes, I'm just talking about the issue of medicines in hospital.
Yes, yes.
Just recently, I think last week, we had our colleague who was very sick, in fact, he injured himself. So we took him around, it was around 05 to the hospital.
Which hospital?
There. We found that there was no medicine there.
Which hospital?
Chipata level 1.
Chipata level 1, okay.
Yes. Takwali umuti, yo kashiteni umuti uyu wakumula shani. So walelanga chikulimiti musipata. Na nchini kuisa vaya kanshi.
Mkwai.
Maybe tawa kwa bulu wa wabaluwala.
Mkwai.
Pero pali issue ya wakawane ya kushita mama studio. Namu nshiwa, is just desperate. Wale wali mu PF. So now he want to prove himself that he is working in the UPND government. Wale tiwala watamshenshi. Kaina wakatare kujagati. Wali wa PF mu 20 nobody nefiapa.
Mkwai.
So he want to prove himself.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mamba.
Oh, we lost him. We can take this other one. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Stanley, calling from Chilabombe.
Stanley from Chilabombe. Please make your contributions.
Yes, Honorable. My contribution is, as the law states that when the former president is too active in politics, it definitely is not supposed to have that state security. But I don't know why you people want to politicize this issue. You, Mr. Mwamba, I think you know it very well to say, when the president is active, the former president is active in politics, he is not supposed to be entitled of that state policy. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying that, but I don't know. But please, let's stop politicize that issue. It's very clear and far straight. Then the medicine, I think in terms of medicine, I think the new government is doing fine. Though there's some hiccups there and there, I think he is doing fine. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your call. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm calling from Makeni, Mr. Mwamba. I'm Angel.
Angel from Makeni. Please make your contributions.
Yes, my contribution is about the president. I think for me, from the point of view, I think the police just did a professional job for going there to the president's house because they wanted something from there. The immunity, the person who have immunity is the president, the former president, not the land. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And from yes, because the owner of the things is not supposed to lose because the president has got immunity. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my contribution.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you very much. Let me just make some quick remarks on the issue of the former president and the issue people are referring to. That it doesn't have to be in active politics. We have what is called the Former President's Benefits Act. It was crafted in 1993. There was no law before that. Remember, KK was president for 1 year. And when we lost power, the UNIP government had crafted a law to benefit former leaders. It encompassed members of Central Committee, those former ministers. It was a huge bill. It was passed just before the elections in 1991 and before Parliament could disband. When the new government came in office in 1991, they abolished that law immediately because they said the country was in debt. It had a $7 billion debt and it couldn't pay all the former officials that were encompassed in that law. However, a new law was crafted in 1993 that now took care of the former president. And the only former president at the time was Dr. Kaunda. And Dr. Kaunda enjoyed his benefits. He came back into politics. You remember there was Musokotwane, who was party president, and Dr. Kaunda felt that he could come back. And by 1996, he had prepared, fully come back. He was unit president, and he wanted to participate in that election. A new constitution was passed that talked about any president who should have both parents born from Zambia. And Dr. Kaunda interpreted that to that law that he was not eligible. He boycotted that election. UNIP boycotted that election. UNIP had 25 MPs. And in that election, they didn't participate. That's how they lost their presence in parliament. 1997, there was a coup, and Dr. Kaunda was fingered among, Roger Chongwe and others. And Dr. Kaunda, you remember the Christmas picking, where he was arrested on Christmas Day 1997, and he was held in prison for a few months under house arrest. But there were negotiations by seniors from the region, and they said, look, this is the former president, he's a respected statesman. And a deal was hammered. Those charges against the former president was withdrawn, and there was an amendment to the law, the 1993 Former President's Benefits Act, that provided for that for the former president to enjoy these benefits, he should not be in active politics. Now, what is active politics? President Edgar Lungu is a lawyer. He knows what the law provides. When President Lungu lost elections, there was a central committee that was held in September 2021, at which he informed the gathering that he had decided to resign from politics. And a postmortem was done that proposed that the 4 top officials in the Patriotic Front should resign. This included the chairperson, Honorable Samuel Mukupangonga, Davis Mwila was Secretary General, the President, and remember the Vice President, Honorable Inonge Wina. In relation, there's a letter that was written to Secretary to Cabinet informing them about this issue, that the President had decided to resign from politics and, to retire from politics. On the party said, Mr. President, no, will allow you to leave, but you will hand over to whoever will be elected as new president, and give us mandate to organize a conference at which then, we'll elect a new president. President Lungu still appears as party president on the documents that are with Registrar of Societies. Is President Lungu in active politics as defined by the law? Is he in active politics? No, he's not. First of all, he gave all his presidential powers to the acting president, Honorable Given Luwinda, and to the acting Secretary General, Honorable Nixon Chilangwa. He is not in active politics. You have never seen him chair the Central Committee meeting. You've never seen him hold a public rally. You've never seen him participate in by-elections. You've never seen him address a public rally. He is not in active politics. We should make that very clear. Is he party president of the party? Yes, he is. He's on leave, and we hope that as soon as we hold the general conference, he will hand over to whoever will be elected. That's why I kept on giving an example that I can resign today and give you 3 months notice and leave work after 3 months notice. Or I can resign and go on leave until the effect of my resignation. These are provided for in the law. The president has resigned, and he has given notice, and he has proceeded to go on leave pending his resignation. I don't see where the issue is, where President Hakainde Hichilema keeps on accusing him that he's involved in party politics. Sorry for the callers, I just needed to put into context. Sometimes people speak from lack of information, so I'm obliged to provide the information. The withdrawal from of state security from the former president is highly regrettable. You enjoy those benefits because you're a former president. I can't enjoy those benefits. I've never been president. You only enjoy those benefits when you are a former president. Let's go back to the cause with that information. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
mwamba tata wa mwamba mulanda na wazulu kufuma ku kopa belt kitwe.
Yes wazulu, please make your contribution landeni ama.
Mulishani mwe wafyashi besu.
Iyo muntu wandilesa letu pala.
Na totela sana mwe wafyashi. Aweleka contribution kandi nkwete kufika pali wa former president wesu mkwai.
Iyo landeni ama.
According to twachumva amanyuzi ationa bachita withdraw ama state security kunganda kumyabo. Echo chintu mwandi ni chintu chimwe chile tumfishe nsoni. Damuno muchalo na muchalo chonse nga chaumfa amashiwe ya mwashiro umfisha bwino. Lelo ichikankala sana chombwene sana ni fwebene fwe bashere bantu batata balungu bali as long as less in short. Wamona kaso fwe bashere imwe bene mwe bali nkanshuko ikaleni bwino panshi. Ishibene fwe mwarasunga batata balungu is the only father of the nation we have. Ishibene fwe mwarasunga bwino bantu tumone fwe mwarasunga bwino. Stop dragging him with if you are politics. Baleke na bene bekale fwe bwino. If I were you today, according na mwewa wako palama kugwa mwa palama kona bena. Ino ishitanga mwali bafuera ne famu. Ngaba bana kufamu abene na bali kana za discipline. Thank you, David. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zulu. My brother, sorry, I keep on seeing your call and I've been unable to pick your call. Please say your contributions, your name and where you're calling us from.
David Moyowambuya.
Yes, David from Mongo.
Yes, I would like to believe that I'm a political analyst. Yes. Why? Because a brief story about myself. I worked for Honorable Scott Winner, the late Honorable Scott Winner and the late Honorable Princess Makatindi Winner for a very long time. I'm very vested in the Zambian politics.
Yeah.
But I was a youth chairman of Western Province in the Lipi days. I joined politics at a very young age. I'm like the Julius Malema of South Africa.
Oh, David, I think that you can give us proper insights. Please make your contributions.
At the age of 16 years old, I was Western Province youth chairman. 16 years old. Under Maplanga, Governor Maplanga. So, Ambassador Mwamba, my brief advice to you.
Yes.
For a very long time, you worked for 10 years with the late President Frederick Chiloba, who was very good with multi-party politics. He understood the dynamics of multi-partyism. The biggest problem with this country has is what Kenneth Kaunda said in 1991. A lot of in 1990, when on the 4th of December, Kenneth Kaunda, I want to tell you something. Yes. Kenneth Kaunda amended the constitution of this country without consulting the members of the Central Committee, because at that time I was deputizing Chivambe Nyarugwe as deputy MCC of UNIP. When the late president amended the constitution for us to go to a multi-party system, the problem which we had, when we changed government, President Frederick Chiloba did not change the constitution. This country, its constitution still runs with the 1964 constitution. It has always gone through amendments. Zambia has never held a referendum to change the constitution. So Zambia is founded under a participatory democracy. That's why a politician today, like how you are talking about Sylvia Masebo, she has performed and worked in almost all different governments, because our constitution allows us to be a participatory democracy. Zambians shift from one party to another so long a party wins elections. The multi-party system we are using today only manages to change a president. That's one thing. So when you should look at what's the root cause of the problem. You are talking about the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health is still using the parameters of a system which has never worked. Why you change governments in Zambia? You change governments because the government has failed to deliver. Why has the government failed to deliver? A government fails to deliver because they are still using the old system which made the other government fail to deliver. Sylvia Masebo today is talking about additional grants to a hospital, to a clinic in Jangombo. Who manages the clinic? A clinic is managed by a clinical officer trained at Chainama. They are not pharmaceutical officers. How can a clinical officer today procure drugs for a clinic? How can that be possible? How can a doctor in Lewanika General Hospital learn about pharmaceutical? Where will he procure those drugs? So the system is broken. Sylvia Masebo is putting in a system to say she was in parliament, on the floor of parliament, and the members of parliament did not challenge her. To say, when did the hospital become a procurement facility of drugs? So, first of all, Sylvia Masebo was supposed to be challenged in parliament to say it's wrong. The procurement system of a hospital or a clinic in Shangombo cannot procure drugs. Because they are not trained to procure drugs. Ambassador. And one thing for Ambassador, you have very good credentials. Let me not tell you a lie. But unfortunately, you have the comfort of not living in Zambia. So you are defending a system which you are not practically on the ground to see what happened in the past 10 years of the UPS in government. If you were on the ground, you would have the audacity to respect what people went through. But unfortunately, or fortunately, you were only called in to be a technician and tactically try and correct a wrong. What you have been trying to do on this platform, let me tell you the truth. 1.8 million people voted for the Patriotic Front. That was more. 2.8 million people voted for the UPND. If today anybody challenges you by opening a program which you have, then 2.8 million who sympathize with the UPND keep on calling the UPND, they will have all the calls answered. Right now you have a platform which 1.8 million Zambians who believed in the Patriotic Front can be calling you for the past 5 hours, and they will give you the answers you want to hear. The point of this country is we should go back to the drawing board and call it what it is. We are still a one-party participatory democracy. The problem which people have, you call Kaunda that he ran a one-party state. Kaunda did not run a one-party state. He ran a one-party participatory democracy. That word participatory is the one which you are lacking in all your conversations. Once you have read that word participatory...
David, thank you for your insights. Kindly give us just your closing remarks quickly.
My closing remark is, I sympathize with the position which our president, our former president is facing. But because of the constitution, which does not define what a retired president should do and not do. The same thing, when the president, Edgar Lungu, resigns from the Patriotic Front, it triggered for a new president to be elected in the Patriotic Front. That has failed to take place. You, Mr. Ambassador Mwamba, paid 200,000 kwacha, hard-paid money, because you knew to say there's a vacancy. As long as you hang on to not do that, this problem will continue. And by the time you realize what some of us, patriotic Zambians, I'm a patriotic Zambian because I know what it is to live in a foreign country. I've never lived in a foreign country as a refugee, but I've lived and worked in foreign countries. I know the stigma of living in a country which is in a mess.
Thank you, what David Litumez Shangwe.
Wait.
No, what David, I gave you more than 5 minutes. I'll be unfair to other callers, I'm cutting.
Just 1 minute, just a second. As long as you do not trigger what made you, Ambassador, to withdraw your hard-earned money to go and pay the Patriotic Fund 200,000 kwacha, if you knew that this thing would drag on, I don't think you would have used that money. You would have invested it for better things. But for you to sacrifice the kind of money.
Thank you, Ward David. You have to forgive me. Thank you very much.
This to be rebranded.
Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Mark. I'm actually calling you from Florida.
Mark from Florida. Please make your contribution. I saw you've been calling, but I keep on missing your call.
It's all right. Thank you very much that I'm through.
Yes.
Wow. Really, it's sad. It's sad. I'm out of words. It's really sad. We didn't really expect to find ourselves in, as a nation or as a country, where we are as regard to the former president. There are benefits. There are things that the former president is supposed to enjoy. President Lungu is a statesman by now. And his function as a statesman, as a former president, is something that would be of great beneficial to our nation. But now it has really become very, very clear that, this didn't just start at the government now wanting to search and, break the law by overlooking or overriding his immunity. It has moved from there. Now we see the withdrawal. Only God knows what will follow next. I think we can do better. President HH must understand fully very well that we are in democracy as a country, and his tenure in office definitely has an end. It will not be there forever. There are things that he hopes in future should happen to him. I think he should have actually set a standard. He has really lost a lot of opportunities based on what he preached, the rule of law, respect, and all those things. Those are the things that he spoke about. But it is turning out to be something worse than, compared to what happened in the past. And that's what people voted for. They voted for, civility in the governance of our nation. But with what is happening, there is too much. There is a lot that is going to come. This is just the beginning. President Lungu should actually grace himself for more. They've actually made it very clear now with these actions that, they're up to something. It's really sad. This can't be happening. In democracy, this can't be happening. President Lungu saved the nation. He did a lot, except that sometimes, we just have to be political. But the truth of the matter, he did a lot for the nation. And he deserves respect for that matter. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Thank you, Mark from Florida. I'm grateful for that call. Thank you very much. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from, sir.
Okay, taking to Ray, calling from Lusaka.
Who?
Raymond.
Raymond from Lusaka. Please make your contribution, my brother.
Yes, sir. I've heard what happened to our former president, Edgar Lungu, but then my main concern is about what happened to Chilufya Tayari.
Yes.
You see, what has happened to Chilufya Tayari? This is coming to you now. Whatever has happened to Chilufya Tayari is because of him talking and the numbers of the people that are following him, the influence that he has, because he doesn't insult. You see, he doesn't speak bad about Mr. Ichirema, but they're on him. So now I'm requesting you people, please use these platforms to review who this man is. This man is a dictator. This man doesn't want to be given checks and balances. This man doesn't want to be opposed, Don't be relaxed, Support your brother Chilufya Tayari, please.
Okay. Thank you, my brother. For those that are not aware, Chilufya Tayari was this evening arrested. Remember, there was an incident last week, and the police asked him to report, and he's been reporting the last 2 days, and we got information that he was arrested this evening.
Exactly. So please, boss.
Thank you very much, my brother. You're 12 Fayama Natasha Sana.
Sure, my boss.
Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Sorry, let's put you on speaker. Yeah, thank you. Please make your contributions.
What about now?
Yes, you are on speaker. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
This is Comrade Mukosa. I'm calling from within Lusaka.
Comrade Mukosa, please proceed with your contributions.
Edgar Comrade, I want to comment on the issue of the withdrawal of the security officers, Edgar Lungu.
Yes, please go ahead.
I don't know. For me, it is not clear. You have not mentioned clearly to say these people will be repressed or they will withdraw forever. That's where the problem. That's where I have a problem, because when I have been following you, I don't remember where you said maybe these people will be repressed or bachosera to security.
Oh, so vachitika Comrade Mukosa is that communication was made this evening to withdraw the police officers that are attached to the president. We don't have any other information. We are alerted due to this information. Kumiuza vachitika, vavachita withdraw from the assistant superintendent who heads the team. We are yet to hear from government what this means. But
I think me and you, comrade, we are aware that constitutionally the former president is entitled to security, to national security, like police and others.
Yes, he is.
So I'm sure those people will be repressed. So
we don't know that. It will be speculation.
But the constitution, because our country is a country of laws, comrades, we know that they will be repressed, because the government cannot just go against the constitution. So again, what we need to be looking at, comrades, is that Zambia being a country of laws, let us be more especially as politicians.
Yeah.
I'm also a politician. I think we have interacted in a lot of programs, me and you.
Oh, Comrade Mukosa. Oh, yes, we met at iWave Radio. I remember you.
Yes. So what I'm saying. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that when we say something as leaders, more especially politicians, what we say, what the politicians say and do, it affects everybody, even in Fwiti Yakumunzi. So we need to be careful, because if we tell people just that Walungu wapoka security, then we don't clarify that the constitution still allows him or is entitled to security, we will mislead the people.
So our colleagues from the UPND government have been alleging that the president is engaged in partisan politics. That's the argument. We've demonstrated that he's not engaged in partisan.
I don't remember the UPND, the government leaders saying that. All what they have been saying is that you, the PAF leaders, you are the one who have been telling the nation and the world over to say Mr. Lungu is still the president of PF. Once you mention that, it means the former president is still active politically. So don't put in Mao Mubantubaku UPND when it is you. It is just soon when you changed even Kubacho Sapo Pamazini Amena Munapeleka ku registrar of society. So what I'm saying here is that we know, let us not promote comedy and drama into politics. We have seen that even things that it doesn't, which are not political, you leaders in PF, you have always wanting to bring in politics. I can give you an example of what happened 4 days ago, Kuli Walungu. When you know for sure that that matter was a family matter, drama, which was also something that I had a lot of question marks, because sunga chose drama kwa IBX, kuli security, kuli na police wamena mkamba wote bachosapo kupeleka kuchawama for safekeeping. I don't understand what happened there. Then again, even when that happened, Bamvera anaweka as a family,
then umoza wanakuta achengewa aenda ku police. But police bakonke, because when a citizen of this country goes to the police to complain about something, the police have got a right and a mandate to investigate that matter. But police you started bringing in the president and the government. So that's why I'm saying we don't have to bring any comedy and drama into things that are not political.
Okay, thank you very much, comrade. Can you quickly say your last words, comrade?
As I conclude, I just want to urge Zambians that whatever they say, these are the people this time who are behaving like mukazi wamena anapokewa chikwati kuli mwamuna
comrade, let's not insult one another. So, this is not the platform. I'm not insulting you, comrade. No. If you are not willing to have decent conversation, please stay away from our debate. We are trying to elevate national debate. We want you to speak rationally without insults. And I need that. These are not insults, comrade. You can speak with a lot of emotions. You can use strong words without impugning insults, my brother.
I'm not insulting anyone here, comrade. Let me conclude.
Yeah, please conclude.
I'm saying mukazi wamena anapokea chikwati. Kuli bechabu ino chamena anga one kuli mukazi wamena anampoka chikwati. Ndiye mwene mulili wa PF. It's not an insult.
No, Ziko mom.
You're welcome, comrade.
Thank you very much. Thank you. There have been remarks related to Mr. Tabo Kawana and the storming of the radio program I had this afternoon. Audiences that are not aware may wonder where this is coming from. You know, I've had discussions where with Maximo, remember, it was a properly organized discussion. The two of us knew we were going to the program. The Minister of Commerce, Mulenga Chipoka, came to my program where I was, and I was duly informed that Ambassador, you will likely have the minister. Is stated that he's coming to this program, and the minister came and we had a nice, decent conversation. People may remember my conversation and interaction with Honorable Noel Nkoma. I engage with people across, and as I've demonstrated even here on this program, these are open lines. I don't even know who's calling, and I just pick. And the lines I have, you know, they are not my traditional lines where I can know who's calling. These are totally new phones, and I don't know who's calling. My idea is that let's have decent conversation about our national issues. There may be a motive, they may be strong, but let's have the debate. So let me play the video, which we have always held, that the president feels that his predecessor is coming. And we saw 7 days ago that there was police that stormed the residence, even when the former president has constitutional immunity. But the police, and a battalion of them with armed vehicles stormed the residence. They were even trying to grind the door. But we have attributed this. In my analysis, I've repeated that all this is coming from the president. What has happened today is not in isolation. Let's play the videos.
For change, reform. And there's nothing saying, I supported PF, I supported the other parties, I supported UPND. No. Serving the people is not a party allegiance. If you still want to give your allegiance to those that you supported and they didn't win an election, you are doing a disservice to yourself. Last time here I was saying, there are some of you who believe I label it up. Azankala Party. Azankala Party. Hey, Azankala Party, guys. Kapena chipune cha minister. Azankala Party. Muzabo mere upasa chipune cha muntu. Anaononga economy. Manje abwelepo ankale party. Abuna uchita chani. What is the unfinished business that they want to do? So let's come out of that mind frame. Sabotaging government, your own government, because you in a level up. No, we love you. A tidbit of what this copper belt was. the journey we walked, the tear gas, so many things. One time after you are and that alela ndata alebwererapo nakabiri aletupuma 22-year-old girl Mapens Chibulo. We had a police permit and a bullet was put at the back of her head. That bullet was meant for me. So when muntu alela ndata ndebwererapo, what does he think I am? What does he think you are? What does he think the children of Joseph Kaunda, Lawrence Banda, Mapens Chibulo, Grazia Matapa, what does he think about those women who were thrown in a cell together with me? Nishi ale tuntun kanyao nishi. Must not misunderstand each other in this country. We must not misunderstand each other in this country. We must not abuse each other in this country. Ndekutika. All the time I'm listening, I said, these people. Uche, bale tontonkanya tatwa kwa tamano. Zambia. Ndeipusha. Nomba kuipusha mulandu. Ndeipusha. How can one aspire to come back and start killing more young people? I am protecting young people. Someone wants to come back and start killing the people. He didn't kill that time. Kwanga loko. Kutumpa oko.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your patience for those that were calling. Let's take the call quickly. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Master.
Good evening. Please tell us your... Simon, please.
From 6 miles.
From 6 miles. Wonderful. Kindly make your contribution, Simon.
Yes, sir. I want to talk about the withdrawal of the security from the residence of the former president.
Yes.
And I think 2 weeks ago I called on your program. I talked about this same issue.
Yeah.
That the former president is used by the PF as a take me back home tire. You know, a take me back home tire? When you have a problem on the road, and with your main tire, and you have that spare tire you put in so that you can reach home. So the PF, first of all, yeah, even today, Mr. Mamba, you said that the president or Mr. Lungu appears to be the president of the PF, but is taking the back seat of governance under PF. That means he's under active politics. Second, my second point is that Mr. Lungu himself tried to resign from any kind of politics, but you denied him. You refused his resignation letter, which means you still force him to be a leader of Patriotic Front. Okay? Third point, when this registrar of societies asked to submit the names of the office bearers, Mr. Edgar Lungu is appearing as number 1 on your list. What does that mean? It means that you're still using him and he's still active in politics. What does the government do? Because he's appearing on every list of your leadership structure, so at any cost they have to withdraw, they have to take an action because you've not surrendered him to be a statesman. what you need to do, as I said earlier before, you need to relieve him of any kind of politics, so that even the members of the UPND are able to visit him. As I'm speaking right now, or as we speak right now, there is no any member of the UPND who can even go and visit the former president because he's under captive of the PF members.
Thank you, Simon. Any other contribution?
No, that's all, sir. Please, could you put your house in order? We love PF and we don't want PF to die.
Thank you very much.
Save Mr. Lungu. He's our member, he's our president, he ruled us, and we still need him alive.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you very much. So those have been our discussions as we begin to wind down. Let me take the last calls. Please call. Let's hear your views on these two subjects.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Mr. Mamba, I'm speaking to Richard within Lusaka.
Yes, Mr. Richard.
Yes, Mr. Mamba, I like following your program. Actually, it's a nice program in a democratic country like Zambia.
Yes, Mr. Richard.
Mr. Mamba, I can't really support you, sir. But I want to talk on the issue with what happened today between you and Mr. Tabo Kawana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in other way, Mr. Tabo Kawana actually is wrong to following all over you go that he can prove his point. But in other part, Mr. Mamba, which I wanted to find out, sir.
Yes, sir.
Me, the only thing that I can up is to you people to unite this country. We are one people. There is nothing about no UPND, PF, what. If we come together, we will build this country. And that's what we want to like, is to see Mr. Edgar Lungu and Mr. HH, they get along. Meaning we are one people, we are one Zambia. There's nothing, if I'm a UPND, I'm a PF, it's fine for me to sin. No. For you, Mr. Mamba, I want you to emphasize, to unite us, you leaders. Even us young ones who follow what you do. Now it's you on the top. You are not trying to chill. You guys will bring problem in this country, sir.
Thank you, Richard. I'm so grateful. And thank you for your wise counsel. And thank you for those calls. I always hear you every time you call, wherever, which radio station I am on. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yeah, this is Osborne calling you from within Lusaka, specifically Mandevo constituents, and that's a proposal.
Yes, wow, Osborne Katewe, what is your contribution?
Yes, I'm watching you. I'm just using my phone, so I cannot have to call you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Emmanuel.
My dear brother, good evening. How's Mandevu? Now I'm quite meet you call.
Mandevu,
No, thank you very much. Make your contribution.
Yes, the two issues that go over the withdrawal of the security, the former head of state, ECO, and then criminality. Now, I'm really it's unfortunate that we have got a lot of people in Zambia experiencing that income in Patara, but Miranda. It's unfortunate. And then you have some levels and then like we are not there for you to support whatever you are speaking for Zambians. One of the issues that just a week ago, now we are called people here. Just over simple thing that people and say, they have to give your prescription. It's not even good now. Looking at around the common people, the poor people, now that the population, that's the way to be. When you go there, take the prescription, go and buy medicine. I'm not there, these simple surgical gloves, about 5,000 a month, where Don't talk about the issue. On the part and a higher level to him, but the base of the mountain radio at the Union Castle. You always see it's unfortunate that people are not coming out. And we know it's just to gather courage and go to them and they don't know. We need to support the man. We don't have to
Yes.
That you're not speaking for yourself. You're speaking for them. Whatever you're doing there, you're doing it for them. They give to tomorrow. God forbid you die. If you still
Thank you, Osborne. I'm so grateful. Please enjoy the program.
Yes, and then we appreciate this man has done a lot for that for Mother Zambia. It's an okay. Yes, politics are there, but let's be real. Edgar Lungu has done a lot for this country. Now, I really want to realize if you speak the great people, I didn't like it. How can you treat the former head of state like a criminal? It should be condemned by anyone who is a Zambian, who should not give Zambia belong to us. It doesn't belong to politicians, it belongs to everyone, to us Zambians. If the majority go there, and they go and vote. But the way the Sagoni is being treated is not fair, and people should come out. I want to want to bring that down. I tell you, that the way we are treating our family is not fair. And then I'm asking you, Honorable, do what you can do to protect Edgar Lungu. Do what you can, protect that man. We need you. And then make sure that at the end of the day, let's find a daytime to have convention president. I know you are doing whatever you can to make sure that at the end of the day, each time you are, people are crying for PF. Poor Zambian people, this is a poor party.
Thank you. Wakatebe, Natasha, the Kentas Kekona Vambi, Mwalanda, Natasha Sana. Thank you for your contributions. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. I'm so sorry to all the callers. I'm trying as much as possible to accommodate as many as possible. Good evening, please.
Good evening, Ambassador.
Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
From Nairobi.
Daniel from Nairobi. Please make your contributions. Yes, Daniel, proceed. You know, you are on data call.
I was watching you live in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes, I was seeing you in the morning during your you had in the morning. I want to find out.
Daniel, have we lost you from Nairobi?
There?
Yes, Daniel.
I can hear you.
Yes, please proceed.
Yes, I was trying to find out, was it a free airtime like program? They just invited you that this Kawana man could just walk into your program and interrupt you, join you. How was the arrangement? Did you pay for that program?
No. So we are invited every day to these programs. In fact, the station even issued an advert that we were running for the whole night and this morning that I was a special guest. So what Mr. Tabo Kawana did is not allowed by Independent Broadcasting Authority regulations. That's why media stations are secure premises. What he did is against many regulations. He actually can even be prosecuted.
Yeah.
And I have demonstrated.
I was very sad. I was very sad looking at what that man did, looking at his level. His position in government. That behavior was immature. It was unacceptable. He shouldn't. It was like a sign of. How can I put it? You know, he shouldn't do that again. If he wants to organize for a debate, he should just invite you for a live debate. People will contribute. People who air out their views.
Yeah.
For the withdrawal of the security from the former president, it's quite unfortunate that we are from talking other stories last week where his house was stormed. This week they withdraw his security. Is very unfortunate. For the medicine, it's a real problem. It's a real problem in as much as all these people are supporting the government. They are claiming that all is well in government. Well,
no, Daniel, they will say you're from Nairobi. You live in Nairobi, so you wouldn't know.
That is the thing, but we have got relatives in Zambia. We have got relatives. We are sending money for the medicine. Whenever they go to the hospital, they need to buy their own things and reagents. Oh, you know, you can imagine they're even buying cannulas. Those are basic things that the hospital should have. But we are sending money. Everything that is going on in Zambia, it has got impact on us who are living in diaspora. Because we are supporting our families back home.
Yeah.
Okay, so
thank you very much, Daniel, and thank you for your contribution.
We appeal to you maybe to make a follow-up and tell us what is happening to the other comrade Chirufya Tayari tomorrow morning. Then you update the people of Zambia.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm grateful. Please call. We are to the Kumatelo. We should have ended the program at 22 hours, but it appears the topics are very hot. We're discussing the case of the former president. There have been a series of issues. 7 days ago, they stormed his residence. Let me take this call. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Yes, Eugene. Enquiry. Eugene is calling from abroad, so I think he's on data call. Eugene, can you hear us? Hello? Yes. Hello? I can hear you. We've seen the police communication. I didn't have time. It just broke 5-10 minutes before I went on air, and I verified the information. I verified the information. You can see it on the screen. That's the instruction we received. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening, Mr. Wamba. This is John Chulu.
Mr. Chulu, please make your contributions. John Chulu from where?
From Kalomo.
From Kalomo. My brother, please make your contributions.
Okay. I just wanted to find out, you people as a patriotic front, you are coming, to, so to say, to the electorate. You are telling us to say we have to give you support. You are trying to win back the support that you could have had. I would just want to know, I would like to know how different your party is from the party of yesteryear to today. Because for you to come to us and even present these programs, it means, you are telling us to say it's a different, patriotic front. How different? Because we are seeing the same faces that were there just 1.5 years ago or 8 months years ago. They are the same faces. How different is the patriotic front, from yesterday's party?
Okay, thank you very much, John. I hope I can quickly answer you. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
I'm very this is Osborne again.
Osborne Mwabuela, mwachilaba kwenshi.
What does the Constitution say about the withdrawal of security of the former head of state? What does the motive that conducted something about that? I would like to hear about that, because we couldn't have taken a former head of state. There is no way the because we are risking his life. If deserve to be protected. So that does I don't know if people will spend a big in the
Okay, thank you, Osborne. I'll try to answer you. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hello.
Good evening, please. Yes, Mr. Mwape. Yole Salet Sunga.
Okay. Now therefore quicksha Mdara. Ili ashia withdraw of security from the former head of state residence. Is it true? Have you verified? Did you try to ascertain the veracity of that information? Did you try to contact the former head of state to get the correct position?
Thank you very much for your question. I'll answer those questions. Because to the Mukusondwele, I'm trying to get as many calls as possible, then I make my closing remarks. Good evening, please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm calling from Lusaka. This is Mike.
Yes, Mike. Please tell us your name. Your contributions.
Yes, I think the withdrawal of the security from the former head of state, I think they are acting within the law because the state is entitled to 3. But I'm pleased there were 7. Even you guys, you deployed more. Because they're supposed to be 3, not more than 3. Those are 7, which is okay.
Mike, just to educate us, you are saying the former president is entitled to 3 officers. Oh, Mike is gone. He's suggesting that the withdrawal is okay because the former president is only entitled to 3 officers. That's what he claims. Good evening, my brother. I've seen your number several times. Every time I answered, I kept on missing you. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Comrade Moya within Lusaka.
Comrade Moya from Lusaka. Make your contribution, sir.
Okay. Okay, let me speak in Tonga.
Yes, please proceed.
Toluma maningi mana apart from yombere heyo. Swanganya abantu ukweza mahimpi alinkuiterere. Nadabambola isi driver security abakapokola unganda ba Edgar Lungu na abakoma president. Sometimes in the police alinkuiterere. The power platform, the three want to papers. We are odd enough to analyze things properly. I'm a constitution is not to read. First thing, I have 4 days ago. I won't call former president. Reported police. Which motor simple and straightforward. That's all. So, we supposed to hold in the better storm and have a president. No! But I want that police. Amana of which motor wood and next, I'll go Gamana. But what to me tomorrow, if I wouldn't have you, I tell him much one. Motor reported police. Bagapola moto wa polisi baguja na munganda ulen problem ngikuba poka ibole dali bagapola leka ntito yabo no bateka unka bagapola no bagafamba fundalimu so bamamba so mutuma bamwi mulindi beba personal memory nimenda muyanda maningi and I know mulimbo muri magana muri masawiti magana politics. So abantu batamubere ndasangula kuba kawisa kasoni batamubere you have a family mulabule kini muri influence yo musuma bali kubantu so let not people use you then number 2 ewisi driver kapokola kuje so matula ipepa yamba bazumba present buli mulango titobela you know ma politicians probably no muisa problem mweti no muisa politicians mweti musobana bono beni. You are people who are involved. Even tubana bayonto kuli bantu balamada kuli bantu bapengere so mupe abantu mwana usayitira mukuru mupe abantu bandena ndene bana pogola wisa kubayisi drop abagwe kuli nganda aba former president kulila muletoberwa na baje active ma politics why to what is benefit security ya mwe woyo kai bajanda kupeleka mwati mi muta abalungu aba go ali involved mana ma politics mulele ngo vindicate mama about matuma mwaita sort wandobika mwijishona apo mwanda uli ngaita sort so tulije kulengena matombwe amahu ngamubika mwijitombwe sort ngamubika mwijitombwe you can't apply that sort cause virus. Yeah. So when you're saying mweta into this salala balunga basala nabahale balike so that's why sabe bapemule mubelele ibwele mtu walunga jishu.
Thank you, my brother, Comrade Moya. Thank you very much. Let's pick other calls. No, I understand. Thank you very much, Ndalumba.
Okay.
Good evening, please. Tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Yes, I'm calling you from Kabwe.
Your name, sir?
Chester, calling you from Kabwe.
Chester from Kabwe. Please make your contributions.
Yes, Mr. Namba. First of all, we love you. Are you getting me?
Yes, you are loud. We can hear you.
Yes. We love you. Monday, Mr. Mamba. Kamba kuchapita ngone.
Kambani ama.
The President Edgar Lungu, muma acting politics. That's the main reason why that can withdraw security. Iyo yeve kila kuichosa pa security, so that at least that not kubwerera kuma politics, mabwerere kuma politics. Secondly, Mr. Mambai, mwene kila kuyimirira ndadima muyimirira pa PF, muyimirire pa PF tumuzive so that we can sell you out. We still have PF. Let me tell you the truth. Me am Tonga. But PF, I love PF very much. But your house is disorganized. As long as you don't put a president, you are just hanging on to President Lungu. President Lungu, let me tell you the truth, cannot win election. HH cannot allow President Lungu to hand over power to President Lungu. Never. It can't happen. You even know. Go to the convention, you choose a president. So that at least we start sharing. Me, I love PF from the beginning. I was even differing from maybe my relative because of supporting PF. Go to the convention, you choose a leader of PF. We start supporting, especially you yourself. You yourself, tufuna imuramene. Katika musanga so chabe simutase na tusote kwan. Yambire tumanje kuitanani kan mama.
Chester, thank you very much from Kabwe. I'm grateful for those calls. Thank you.
Kabwe, but mutupase tusote tuambe kumusapota kuno ku campaign naye so that siwana musanke so chabe, but we have to campaign for you.
No, thank you very much. Thank you, comrade. Thank you very much, Mr. Chester. Okay, one of our orders from Kabwe, Mr. Chester. We've had good interaction today. I think we're discussing the withdrawal of former president's security by the police command. We don't know where the instruction have come from, but they've decided to withdraw all the security from the former president's residence. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from. Good evening. Please tell us your name and where you are calling us from.
Hey, I'm calling from Wandi. My name is Mr. Lumesi.
And what's Lumesi?
Hey, Nimwiketire.
Shangwe. Please make your contributions.
Hey. Luitumeza oro.
Shangwe.
Hey, nasere kutereza maprogramu amina. Kono. Isa hapa ndio kinkampita pediani.
Okay, Kambani.
maprogram anu tumamvera but monga ise vaku western mwamene tumaonera vintu hivi at least kufunika chabe pamene muona chabe vintu vili chabe bwino at least naimwe mufunika chabe kukamba chabe hapa vili chabe bwino vintu hivi bacho mwamene onera chabe hapa ni politics chabe muntu akachita chabe vya bwino at least kufunika chabe naimwe mukamba hapa muntu uyu achita vya bwino but pamene tuona chabe problem ni hapa maja PF pamene onera chabe problem ya PF ni kuti chabe sivo mera chabe ma problem ya PF sivo mera chabe mwamene ya ila chabe ma problem kuungulo huko at least kufunika chabe mwanga iseva ku western tumavutika kukamba chabe vazona pali PF at least oro kufuna chabe PF ibwerere at least mchase chabe vaja vakudala kai tumavaziva vaja muyambe chabe tati afresh mwaona noti ava vakudala ava kairi vatuvutisa tuvaziva manje niri branding yapani mwaona at least mwamene tuonera Zambia ni yatu vose tukavutika tumavutika vose tukakala chabe bwino tumwakala chabe bwino vose manje PF mwamene nzoonera ukakala chabe siuli wa PF nchivutika ize twavutika maningi chifukwa chakuti twendeva UPND mwaona bati hapa oro ni wa PF oro ni wa UPND oro ni wa ndanzoromu achita chabe vintu vya bwino atenga ni semu chani ni semu levo mwaona PF yani mungale chabe pansi
Litumez was Lumesi, thank you very much and greetings to our family there in Mwandi.
Rukavarungeri samdala
Shangwe. Okay. Let's play the video of medicine, the matter we're discussing today, and then I come back and then we wind up.
Despite assurances from government on normalizing the erratic supply of medicines in clinics and hospitals in the country, the situation has not changed. Recently, Minister of Health Sylvia Masevo disclosed that 90% of the allocated 3.4 billion kwacha for drugs has been released to the Zambia Medicines and Supplies Agency, ZAMSA. Ms. Masebo once more assured the public that the situation will normalize. However, the continued lack of medicines in hospitals has angered some concerned residents of Lusaka who have called on the minister to deliver.
Minister of Health ashita chani tifuna Minister of Health azisevenza kuma clinic tikaenda ngatuwadwala hapa nikulembere wa Munkwala bakulembera Munkwala ndi kuti government ishita chani government isenza chani tinaifaka ku government kuti ikazisevenza isenzele bantu ovutika.
William Kamanga claims Ms. Maseo is playing politics as opposed to addressing the real issues.
Ma doctors wao ni corruption eka ngatile ni bendera makulibe swanga nionepo yani bamaseo basachenjelese kukamba maningi banali mu MMD babwera mu PF bachoka mu PF babwera mu UPND basachenjelese ngani ya politics setalema nayo ya bamaseo bazitandiza abantu ku Ministry of Health Mankwala baguli ba government ma hospitals mulibe Mankwala talema nazo zongoti iya Mankwala kaguleni talema nazo na corruption amne bali nayo.
Another resident, Jeff Kamanga, has echoed the sentiments.
Boma, timbe no new dawn government. Vonse viche buino, but even civil buino mdara vaipa. Vaipa vindu. So what we want this to Maseo. Afake Mankwala ma hospitals. Not a company Mankwala anabura Mankwala kulibe.
For Movie TV News, I'm Afias.
Much. This was an emotive debate. We hold the brief every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 20 hours and 22 hours. We take an issue and we make you participate. Like David Moyoambuya always says that it has to be participatory. And this is what makes a debate. We want to elevate debate. No matter how hot the debate is, let us discuss it. Let's see the way forward. Let me just quickly summarize. The issue of medicine. We know the health system that requires to be reformed, and the health sector has been going through various reforms. We even had the people remember the National Health Board, where it was divorced from the ministry. Currently, we have many entities from the ministry that have been divorced, including the purchase of medicine, which has gone to the Zambia Medicine and Medical Supplies, ZAMSA. We have created a national scheme for people to be supported through this NIMA, as it is called, for your health services to be paid. There have been various changes that have occurred, including a regulatory authority, ZAMRA, which was created. Why are all these not working? Political interference, like the findings from Parliament stated, there is this pervasive political influence from Ministry of Health, the Minister and the Permanent Secretary. They should allow these entities to grow. On the issue of the former president is not in active politics. He doesn't attend rallies, he doesn't address public meetings, doesn't address public rallies, doesn't go to any by-elections. He's not engaged in active politics as a definition of itself, active politics. If people, the New Dawn government, are deducing his presence on the register at Registrar of Society, that is the party president, therefore is in active politics, they are simply being malicious. The party will hold a conference. We've advertised, we've named the dates before. Matters are currently in court, but we're determined to go to court, at which place the president will hand over power to whoever will be elected as president. To use that issue that is being active in politics is to be totally unfair. We have demonstrated that there is paranoid feeling against the former president. Whatever he does, he keeps quiet, it's a problem. He meets people, it is a problem. He goes to church, it is a problem. We think that he's a former president. We need to accord him the required respect he deserves. And these machinations that have been occurring recently, last 7 days, he was Mwashimia. The last 7 days, his residence was stormed, and it was not appropriate. So thank you for all the calls that called from abroad, from Nairobi, from Wales, from Florida, and from across the country, up to Mwandi, where my Makwenyans are. Thank you for all those calls. We'll see you on Friday. Like we always say, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you, and may he be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. See you on Friday. God bless you. God bless Zambia, and God bless our leaders. Thank you.
Kwa